Fourth official, a first cup final and a big appointment for Luandile Mfiki. Now, a chance to look at the starting lineups in more depth. Here is Farouk Khan.
Well, Mark, clearly we see Morocco Swallows having Luvengo Mungomeni in defence. In the defence that have conceded 13 goals. Him with Ashraf Hendricks in defence will have to make sure that they don't slip up this evening. We have Lifa Tutsulupa, the captain. His ability to support the attack, and Tess Fernandez, we've seen him in the past getting forward and scoring some important goals. Then we have Larati Shabang with a form player, mobile, and combines well with Mashehu Chenene in attack. On the side of Supersport, Bevan Fransman, having gotten back from Israel, has added steel in the defence, which lost the likes of Gould. To Supersport, he will complement more Diouf, and I think in their defence they've not conceded in at least 5 games, which is a great record. Sibusiso Zuma, speed and skill combined with the versatility, gives this player the ability to cause problems for the likes of Hendricks and Mungomeni. Kenyeza, what more can we say? He has regained his form, scoring some excellent goals in the last couple of games. An exciting encounter in the waiting.
Morocco Swallows are in the white with maroon trim tonight. Supersport United in the all blue. Gavin Hunt is in charge of Supersport for the 201st time tonight. This is his 4th cup final. He's won 2 and lost 1. 2 of those with Morocco Swallows. Zeka Marks in his 1st cup final tonight, in his 2nd spell in charge with the club. It'll be Swallows to kick off here tonight. They'll be attacking the goal to the right-hand side. This is the 50th encounter between these two sides in all competitions since Supersport United made it to the top flight in 1990. There have been 19 wins for Supersport. There have been 15 for Swallows. Interestingly, there have been 15 draws as well. So expect a tight encounter here tonight between these two sides. And expect also, Farouk, a lot of wing play from Supersport United and a busy midfield with 5 players potentially for Morocco Swallows, although they've also got pace out wide, demonstrated here by Obada down this right-hand side, who provides the first attacking cross of the night.
Well, I think if you look at it, you know, Gavin has really surprised all of us. We thought he's going to go with the false up front, but he's opted to go with Kenyeza, and with Duty in the squad and Kale, he obviously is looking to get those balls in early for the strikers.
This is going to hang up for Rowan Fernandez, who will appreciate the opportunity for a first touch. Lots of experience in cup finals from his days with Kaizer Chiefs. Of course, he's been the 2nd string goalkeeper at Supersport United over the last 14 months or so. He'll be keen tonight to demonstrate his worth at the back. Peterson. And now Chabangu with a bit of a run. Obada to his right. This is a good run from the Nigerian. Chance for the first opportunity, and he skews it wide off that right boot. It's this sort of open play that we expect tonight, because both sides have got lots of pace about them.
Well, especially on the counter-attack where Swallows are devastating. I mean, if you lose possession in the midfield, as we've seen Supersport do there, they will get punished. And Obada there shooting off target, but it's an early warning for Supersport not to be careless in midfield.
They would have wanted some more accuracy from Obada. They're perhaps not going to get as many chances as that through the 90. Remember, as Farouk said, Supersport have not conceded in their last 5 games. That includes the cup semi-finals against Orlando Pirates, and of course in the league as well. Fronts one bundled off the ball by Masheho. Referee says play on. It's Diouf under a bit of pressure at the back. Now Chenene. Lefotwani coming forward on the left-hand side. Back inside to Chenene. Perhaps struck a little too firmly. Supersport are not holding on to possession, I should say, early on. And he has Obada. Another cross. Little touch from Fernandez. And lurking dangerously at that back post was Chabangu.
Well, I think if you look at Fernandez, he's fuming simply because the midfield is not controlling the game, and they've lost possession on several occasions. And in the last couple of minutes, we've seen Swallows making at least 2 attempts on that Supersport goal.
Last season in the league, these two teams drew. Their last cup match was also a draw in this competition 2 years ago. Swallows won on post-match penalties. There's Chabangu. Fernandez will let that go harmlessly away for a goal kick. So maybe a little bit of nerves from this Supersport side early on, just looking to get a little rhythm going. But at the moment, turning possession over in the midfield. Lovely pitch conditions again, Farouk, and besides the little storm we had around about supper time tonight, it's ideal for these two teams out there.
Fantastic pitch. I mean, it's equal to any pitch around the world, in England and all those top leagues in the world. I think it's a fantastic pitch. We were a little bit concerned if the rain was going to come, but that seems like we're fortunate that there hasn't been any rain, and the game is going to really improve as time goes, Mark. It's early days. I think both teams need to get their feet and their rhythm, and then probably we'll see them lifting up to another gear.
Now an opportunity for Duty, his first touch, lovely ball for Kyle, and that's 1-0. The two former Ajax players who were in the cup final defeat when they lost 6-0 to Golden Arrows combine here tonight to expunge those bad memories. Duty got the loose ball, provided the perfect pass, and Franklin Kale just stuck it away. His third goal since joining Supersport United. The perfect start for the men in blue.
Well, that defense was caught wanting, and they were dissected with a killer pass, a champagne pass. There was no cover, and you could see Isaacs was left wanting there. Duty looked up, look at the vision, and the quality of that pass and the finish equal to that. You see Kale just side-footing it, taking a penalty once he's in that area. He doesn't go for power, he sees Itafia off his line, and he side-foots that ball into the net.
Well, if that proves decisive, it's a master tactical stroke as well from Gavin Hunt, bringing Samik Duty into the starting lineup when few expected he'd even make the 18 for tonight. No game time at all this season in official competition for Supersport United. He's provided the first goal, Kale has scored it, and Swallows are down by 1-0.
Well, you know, we all have been talking about those frailties in defence, and Swallows again have proven where their weakness is. Going forward, as we've seen early on, is maybe their strength, but defensively they have been caught wanting once again.
For once, an early cup final goal as well. 4 minutes for Franklin Kale to dissect the defence and provide the opening goal of the night. And well, you remember him playing almost as a full-back for Ajax in 2009 when we had the first cup final played here at the newly refurbished Orlando. Another chance here for Duty. He's looking for the corner. Kale was a fullback that night. Samik Duty was in the lineup. Ajax got absolutely thumped by Golden Arrows 6-0. I'm sure they still have bad dreams about that. But if they can hold on to this, those will be very quickly forgotten.
Well, clearly Mangoba had a plan for them that evening, and with the likes of Kale playing as a fullback, it didn't seem to work for them. They were really trashed that evening. But tonight it seems like they've come with a plan, and thus far they're in pole position. Very early to call a result, but I think it's a good cushion.
Thumping challenge in the back of Zuma. He stays down. Referee says play advantage here. Mungomeni was the culprit. Zuma's up, but somewhat ginger. Kale decides he's going to continue, trying to go down the byline up against his former teammate or former Supersport man, Rudy Isaacs.
Well, Mark, I think Gavin has realized that the pace of this defense is really bad or poor, and he's exploited that weakness in their pace, or the lack of the pace. And you're going to have Kale making those runs at Isaacs all night long, as well as Duty. Lechotwani is also going to have his work cut out. And then the options on the bench. It's really food for thought.
It's been a great year for Davies Nakasu, the captain tonight. Won the Nations Cup with Zambia in February, the Nedbank Cup in May. Now hoping for another medal tonight. The foul throw is given. Indikaya Bolo is the linesman on this near side. All three officials tonight are on the FIFA panel and will be so for next year as well. So there's, I should say, really the cream of the up-and-coming officials in South African football who've been given the opportunity of a cup final appearance tonight.
What I would like to say is, Mike, it would be interesting to see when the likes of Nomveti and Matibula come into play now that they've conceded. Would the coach opt to bring them in early, or would he wait for the second half?
I'm sure he's pondering it right now, and there's Nakasu with the second throw-in. This time, You can have no complaints about it. The ref doesn't stop the play. Swallows continue with possession. Here's Chinene up against Roscoe Peterson. Into the middle, away from Juf. A little bit of a dangerous clearance there. He was lucky there was no one from Morocco Swallows in a more central striking role. Nagadze. Kanyeza back helping out. Nakasu now looking for Kale. Possession being turned over pretty regularly by these two teams. Lovely pass from Nagadze. Now Obada trying to get past Fransman. Referee says play on. Swallows say there was a push. Referee immediately waved his hands. That'll be somewhat controversial. Obada was looking for something there. And Bevan Fransman flirting with danger, one fancies Farouk.
Well, I think if you look at it closely, Obada went down too easily. Fransman put his arm across, but there wasn't too much in that push. He just basically used his arm to shield, and Obada went down very easily. The ref got that spot on.
Now the corner here for Morocco Swallows, Benachinene on the left-hand side, is going to be a perpetual danger in tonight's encounter. Let's have a look at it again. There's the outstretched arm. There is a little shove in there, perhaps. You could call it either way, I fancy, Farouk.
Yeah, I mean, from where the referee is looking at it, there was a bit of a push, but if you look at the way Obada went down, very theoretical.
Now, little catch from Fernandez. And he clears quickly as well. Finds Samik Dutti. This is Morocco Swallows being caught at their own game. The quick counter into Kanyeza. He was watching the offside trap, back across the middle. Kanyeza waiting, looking to get onto the end of the pass from Zuma.
If you look back, Mark, when Rowan was still with Kaizer Chiefs, this is where we saw the counter-attack launched by the goalkeeper. He was, you know, long before Kune, used to do those quick counter-attacks with those accurate passes. Rowan was known to do that, and I think tonight we've seen it again. Swallows need to be very careful, and he's going to put the likes of Zuma, Dutti on the attack with that type of service.
Lots to think about for Zeka Marks, his assistant there, Dennis Lotter, and Edgar de Silva, the goalkeeper coach, who famously played in his day with Dynamos in a very tempestuous cup final at Soccer City a good 20-odd years ago now. Forward by Mungomeni. This is Chabangu. Now Jima, the big strong Ghanaian. Samik Doti waiting for Peterson to come on the overlap. Mark Haskins, a surprise choice perhaps in midfield, but he'll give you a good 110% here tonight.
Yes, Mark is a workhorse. He's very, very, very capable of even scoring goals, as we've seen in the past when he was at the likes of Swallows as well as Wits. He scored some good goals, and yes, I think he's a player that will start with the likes of Mulenga and as well as some of the other quality that Supersport have on the bench coming in the second half.
Nagadze, Mungomeni, now Rudy Isaacs, who won 3 league titles with Supersport United. Lekotwani, you get the feeling there are more Swallows supporters in the crowd tonight than there are for Supersport United. There's a bigger noise when the Birds push forward.
Well, there's a lot of expectation. You know, Swallows haven't won a major cup in years, and the fans would have liked to see them do well this evening. And if they don't win tonight, the coach is going to be under huge pressure.
Nagadze, Lekotwani. Just the consistency is Georgie Nagadze. Now Chinene sets off on the run. Masheko gets the return pass. They're 2 in the middle, Chabango and Obada. Masheko trying to see if he can eliminate one of the defenders along the way. Zuma holds it up. Dutti shows too much. Nagadze once more. Bit of space now for Tsutsalupa. Trying to bring Obada into play, and there was perhaps a momentary hesitation there from Nakasu. Still Obada. Up to Kanyeza, nice skill, gets it past Tsutsalupa, he's offside. Zuma just went that half second too early, and I don't know if it's really his fault, because I think an earlier ball from Kanyeza and he would have been away.
Definitely, had he released that ball earlier, would have been away. And if you look at Obada on the other side, he's giving them a lot of options. However, he's missing the likes of Nomveti, who comes closer to him to play off from him and make those runs. We've seen the likes of Nomveti, Obada and Chabangu in previous games doing extremely well as three players in a triangle.
I don't want to tempt the footballing gods, Farouk, but this stage now is perfectly set for another Nomveti fairy tale. Imagine him coming on in the second half, goal down and turning it around for Morocco Swallows. I'm sure the fans are already beginning to think a little along those lines.
Well, I had a chat with a friend of mine the other day, and he said to me, you know, if he looks back at the players that went abroad, Nomveti stands out as one of the best ever. If he obviously left a little bit earlier, we could have looked at it differently, but having said that, at his age, he still has so much energy and so much potential, and he's really had a fantastic 2 seasons with Morocco Swallows.
He looks as if he wants to come on shortly, hiding his expression there from the fans and from the camera, but inside you can be sure he is itching for an opportunity. Nice pace to this game. We're fast approaching the first quarter hour completed. Did that come off the referee or did it come off Jima? It's been given to Swallows. Tsutsalupa. Lechotwane. Chabangu. Nice ball for Mashejo. Chabangu again looking for Mashejo. Needed some stark defending from Juf. Now, Duti's gone. Great ball from Zuma. Kanyeza streaming in. It's played across to Kale. He hits it on the full volley and doesn't get the power he was looking for. It's disappointing for Gavin Hunt, but it's another dangerous counter. And Samich Duti showing his value there.
And again on the counter-attack, we see how quickly Supersport break out of that defensive third, and Duti gets that ball, looks up, he sees Zuma, Zuma checks one more time, and then he plays it to Kale. Kale had a little bit of time. He could have taken the ball, at least had another touch, but he opted to go for that spectacular volley.
Mashejo looking for Obada. Good work from Fransman. This is Kale, and the chase is on for Zuma.
What could be an option, Mark, for Zeka Marks is bringing on David Matibula to unleash the pace of Chenene and Obada, keeping the ball in midfield, because that is where they can hurt Supersport on that right-hand side, or on Supersport's right-hand side with Peterson. Roscoe is not the quickest player, and we've seen Chenene's pace. He could expose him.
I think the one reservation of that is the lack of game time, and Matibula's failure so far to get any opportunity to play this season. They've had him ready for a while. Unlucky for Chabangu there.
Well, then maybe the coach would opt to bring him in later in the game, but that could be an option for him to change his game, because it seems like every time they lose possession, Supersport look like hurting them.
Nicked away, now an opportunity, flags up for offside though. Good thinking by Chenene, but he was offside.
In saying there's a bit of lack of pace with Roscoe, I think Roscoe is a superb player, wonderful player, elegant, and more suited, in my opinion, to play a central role. But I think what Gavin has done is played him in that position, played him as a central defender, so he's more of a versatile option for him.
Well, he starts on the right-hand side tonight. Davis Nakasu on the left. Nakasu was the right back for Zambia in the Nations Cup final, so he's showing his versatility as well. There's Obada. Tsutsalupa, good tackle. Another chance, great shot, great goal! Megaze! And Swallows are back in the game. There goes the jacket from Zeka Marks, and there is the equalizer.
Well, Mark, this is going to really take this game to a boiling point now that both teams have scored. And Nargatsi there, the finish. What a finish, clinical finish. From the distance he hit that ball, it was well struck, and Supersport there were caught wanting. Ball played forward there, and Nkasu there allowing that ball to go over his head. Fransman is caught. Mashego does well to hold the ball up, plays it back to Obada. Obada looks up, and here we see Chuchulupa being caught in possession, but it falls favorably for Nergatsi. Very fortunate for Chuchulupa, having lost the ball, dropping for Nergatsi, and he punishes
It's
Supersport.
his 6th goal for Morocco Swallows in his 3rd season. The player from Georgia has the equalizer, and with less than 20 minutes gone, 1-1 is the scoreline here as Supersport United and Morocco Swallows turn it on in the MTN8 final. 2 great goals, parity. Mungomeni takes that loose ball from Nkasu. Chabangu looking for Chinene, cut out by Peterson. Down the line by Duty, and a foul on Zuma, and we're going to have the first yellow of the night. Ashraf Hendricks gets his 4th yellow card of the season. He's the first player to get to 4 in the entire league, and he'll be the first player suspended for an accumulation of bookings this season under the new rule, which is 4 yellows collected in matches as opposed to 3 in the past.
He was caught there for pace, and you know, he did what most defenders would do in a situation like that, bring the guy down and stop the attack.
Only the 2nd foul of the game as well, and the first yellow comes out. Now testing one, little flick on, oh, Fransman almost.
This is where Supersport is most dangerous, as we've known in the past. That free kicks, those set pieces have always worked to their advantage. Kale with an educated left foot, and Fransman just a little bit more on that ball, and we could have seen the 2nd goal for Supersport. Just not enough.
Etafia, sorry, Farouk was a little bit in no man's land there.
Yeah, he was caught because that deflection from Fransman, if he had more on the ball, definitely an opportunity for the 2nd one.
And then almost subbing for Morocco Swallows, with Chinene unable to pick up that ball as the defenders were still making their way back from that corner.
Well, Mark, this is cup football, end-to-end stuff, and I mean, everybody here, as surely and at home, is enjoying the fact that there's so many opportunities being created by both teams.
Ngadze, what a lift for him, scoring that cracker. It's a Swallows ball as well, so it's going right at the moment for the Birds. That you can see the lighter side along with tonight's referee, Luandili Mfiki. Free kick, in fact. Chabangu swings it in towards goal, up in the air. Davies Nkasu got a touch to it. Fernandez makes it safe, and now he asks Zuma for a bit of running. Impeded again by Mungomeni, although on that occasion he was just running some good interference there, the central defender. And having a bit of a rough final so far, Sibusiso Zuma, and he's going to require some treatment. Nothing wrong here though, Farouk. We'll have a look at it now again on the slow-mo.
Well, you can see both of them are going for the ball, and he sort of just bumps into Mungomeni. Mungomeni was not guilty of fouling him in any way. The one criticism I have for Supersport is the fact that the coach said in the last game against Amazulu he wasn't happy about the way they lost possession. And we see them this evening at times losing possession carelessly. And I think that is what he's going to have to correct coming into the 2nd half.
He'll have a few things to say, I'm sure, at the half-time break. Gavin Hunt's lost just one of his last 22 matches in charge for Supersport over the last 9 months now. That loss was against Orlando Pirates in the league on the 1st of May. It was a crunch game in the title race. They lost twice straight after the mid-season break when all the players came back for the Nations Cup break. And then 1 defeat in 22 since then. It's a formidable record for Supersport United, stretching across 2 seasons.
You know, having looked at that replay in slow-mo, you can see there was a bit of elbow from Mungomeni, but the camera has the advantage of showing that angle. I mean, from where we were sitting, we couldn't see that.
Erasmus and Nathan Tolsa are the players warming up in case Zuma is unable to continue. He's still making his way back to the centre line. Supersport for the moment with 10 men on the park. There's the big man Juf, signed from Maritzburg in the close season.
He's been an excellent acquisition. We saw what he offered Maritzburg last season, and he's done so well since he's joined the Supersport. He could only go from strength to strength.
A little bit of a mix-up at the back there. It'll be a corner. I felt Kanyes was impeded a little bit on his way through as well. But Morocco Swallows again looking untidy at the back.
You can see Ashraf shaking his head there. Great ball played forward by Fernandez. Mabuti runs onto it. A bit of obstruction again from Mungomeni. He seems to have been putting his arm out, and Kanyeza not getting to the ball.
So let's see what they can do with their first corner of the night. Samik Duti. And they got another one that perhaps was a little disappointing. Kanyeza, by the way, has won 3 cups with 3 different teams, with Ajax, with Kaizer Chiefs, and again with Supersport United in the Nedbank Cup final earlier on this year. Here's Chinene now. Good work from Kale, coming all the way across.
Talking about Kanyeza, when he came from Sundowns to Supersport, he didn't set the house on fire, but he's improved of late.
Now Mashego. Mashego! Oh, he could have made it 2-1 there. That was an opportunity for a goal.
Not very characteristic of Supersport's defense. Diouf there, a little bit lax there, allowing Mashego to get on the inside of him. And Mashego could have done much better. Could have made it 2 for Morocco Swallows.
Swallows with their 3rd effort on goal tonight, just 1 on target. Mashego once scored 4 goals in a game for Supersport United against Morocco Swallows, 2008. Now on the other end, and in that same game, Mark Haskins scored for Swallows against his current employer, Supersport United.
With that last attempt, we must also say that Fernandez did so well coming off his line.
Kanyeza trying to chest it down. Now Peterson, he'll be wary of Chinene just behind him, not taking any chances. This is only his 5th game in the PSL. Remember, he was a stalwart for Chippa United in their promotion chase last season, but on this stage, relatively inexperienced.
That goal has given Swallows a bit of confidence now. They seem to be doing much better, and the game is sort of equal at this stage in time.
Our possession statistics show that Swallows, in fact, 65% of the ball at the moment, so emphasising your point. Isaacs now back to Hendricks. Chinene. Holds it up nicely, but fails to find Tsutsalupa. And Lekotwane gets another good touch in there. We said earlier already, a good pace to this game. It's going to be an exhausting affair, I fancy, between these two sides. As Farooq said, a classic cup encounter. Remember, they've both got midweek games coming up. There's not much rest time. Sundowns are playing Supersport in a Tshwane derby on Wednesday at Atteridgeville. The Swallows are going to an under-pressure Amazulu in Durban in midweek.
Well, the coaches have had plans, and it looks like Gavin has rested some players, hopefully thinking of bringing them in and ensuring that he has some fresh legs. But the score at this moment could change that, and the coach could decide, look, we need to win this one, and I'll probably just bring in those players that are wanted to rest come the midweek games.
No, I don't think there's a single player who would be happy with the concept of being rested for a cup final. They all want to be in the team tonight. Duty is the surprise selection, but he's provided the pass for the opening goal. Tsutsalupa bundled over. That's the Ghanaian Jima, who we can expect a bit more from in tonight's game. He's a big, tough tackling ball winner in the middle of the park. Ashraf Hendricks didn't like that challenge and made his point fairly clear to the referee.
Well, he's going in quite hard on the tackle, but really no stats showing. But he has to be careful because he's been noted to get booked or even sent off at times. So he needs to make sure he doesn't cost his team by making a tackle which will reduce them to 10 men.
Jima made his debut for Ghana in August. He was called up for the national team. They played a friendly in China, so that's an indication of how highly they rate him. We might see him in the Nations Cup squad if Ghana qualify. I'm sure our Malawian friends will have something to say about that. Now here is Zuma. Was he brought down by Mungomeni? This time the whistle goes his way. In fact, he's going to get a yellow card for a dive. And he's not complaining either.
Well, clearly the ref was in a very good position to see that Zuma
absolutely
took
no
dive
contact.
there.
Great call from Mr. Mfiki.
There we see Zuma going over like he's diving into a swimming pool, and he knows it, and that's the reason why he hasn't demonstrated with the referee.
Well, I would fancy, Farouk, that if he looks back on his career on similar moves that he's made, he's probably won more free kicks than he's picked up yellow cards, so it's worth having a little go. "30 minutes gone, chance for us to have a look at the possession statistics in this game, with a look at the last 5 minutes and then the overall as well. Now Peterson underneath this.
Well, clearly what Gavin said about horses for courses, you can see he's changed his tactics. I was saying to you earlier, Mark, that they look like a team that wants to build from the back, that want to pressurize from the front, but we've seen a lot of long balls played by Rowan and hoping to expose the frailties of the Swallows' defense.
Up in the air from Zuma. He was trying to lay that back for Kanyeza, and then Lekotwane with a bit of a rush of blood to the head. He wasn't under any pressure at all. Perhaps needed a call from one of his teammates, but he was just bent on clearing that anyway. He felt, obviously, someone on his shoulder, which was not the case.
Well, I think Itafia called to him and he panicked, and you know, he did what he should have done in the first instance. He did it a bit later.
Gucci. Lovely ball from Zuma, chance for two! That's a good save from Itafia. Came out, narrowed the angles, and that is an excellent stop.
Fantastic combination play here from Duty. Gets the ball, he plays a combination with Zuma, takes his time, looks up, picks his spot, but Itafia was equal to it. You can't really fault him for that. He did everything so well. Looked up, looked where the keeper was.
Well, the coach was a little disappointed, but I think options for Duty were limited. It's not as if Franklin Kale was open to his left, and Duty did try and pick his spot and steer it past the keeper. It was good work from Itafia.
Very, very well taken from Itafia. Made himself big, went down well, and Duty can be proud of the fact that he made a good effort. He didn't sky the ball, he picked his spot. I suppose the coach is a bit concerned about the fact that he didn't score.
Supersport with the second effort on target now in this game, 5 overall. They want to up those percentages. Tsutsalupa, now Obada, not cleared convincingly, and Diouf at the second attempt concedes the corner, and the Swallows dominating the corner count as well as the possession count. Fourth corner of the game for Morocco Swallows. There have been 3 for Supersport in this encounter. Tsutsalupa along with Lekotwane, or Chinene rather, who will now go into the middle. Hendricks got a touch. Chabangu gets past 2 defenders. Chabangu is going to try the shot. Cleared away by Peterson. Now the chase is on for Zuma at the other end. Keeps going. Was he brought down? What's the referee say here? Now he's appealing to the linesman, and Mr. Mfiki is saying, remember, I booked you already. Don't do that again, or you will have an early shower.
If you look here closely, Zuma has a bit of a case. You can see Isaacs has clipped him initially there, and he goes down a little bit later than he should have earlier on, and that is where the referee has now warned him that if you do that again, I am going to book you, because when he went down, there was hardly any contact.
Well, he's got the booking. The next one would mean a red card. Would have been a bit harsh on Zuma there, but got to be careful now. He's had a warning. He's had a yellow. And they wouldn't want to lose this man. Lots of experience. 37 years old now and playing in a cup final. Isn't that a magnificent achievement?
Fantastic. The likes of Zuma, Siabonga, Namveti, and even some of the other players we see on the park have really shown they've matured with time.
In from Kale, caught by Etafia. So 10 minutes plus stoppage time now before we head to the break, and a chance for the 2 coaches to well, perhaps try and get something going. Header back from Tsutsalupa finds Supersport with a chance. Duty tries to drive it across for Kanyeza, and they have the corner.
Well, every time Duty breaks, there isn't enough numbers in the box, and I think that is why you see Duty taking those shots. Supersport need to get more numbers forward to ensure that there's at least options in the box for the player who has possession.
Franklin Kale with the corner. Out comes Etafia. He doesn't get hold of it. Jima is beaten to the ball by Chinene. A decisive interception from the winger. It'll be a Supersport throw-in. Peterson's going to leave it for the captain. Good chance for Jima though, and Chinene helping out in defence, proving he can do the job at the back as well as at the front. There's no doubt who the captain is tonight. That's the biggest C I've ever seen on an armband. Not cleared away convincingly, turned from Kanyeza, and disappointment as that goes wide of the target.
Supersport from a throw-in had an excellent chance there, poorly cleared by Mungomeni, and this is a testament to Mungomeni. If you look at it here, Kanyeza turns but off target. He's been poor in the last couple of games. I've seen him against Amatax, and he made similar mistakes. A player who's really determined, strong in the tackle, but he makes those mistakes and he can be punished.
And it was very close there to being a costly mistake. Strong header from Isaacs. Now Kanyeza. Hendricks gets there first. He's asking Chinene to chase. Too much currency on that particular ball. Good idea though from the big centre-back. Now Fernandez under pressure. Clears with that left foot. Flick on from Zuma, asking a little too much of Kanyeza, who didn't set off with much conviction.
I think everybody can really be impressed with the way Fernandez distributes. I mean, you look at that left foot of his, it's pure quality.
And Chinene was bearing down on him. He certainly kept his wits about him. No panic there.
Well, I can recall at Kaiser Chiefs, he used to take a lot of free kicks in training, and you know, even when we used to have games, he'd be involved in them.
Now Zuma. Chibangu comes back to help out. They still haven't cleared the danger. Lekotwani does well though, finds Chinene. They're in front of their supporters there on the other main grandstand here. I think the Swallows fans will be fairly satisfied with the way that they fought back into this game. It was an opportunistic goal from Nagadze, but if you crack them from that range and you get them on target, you are going to get rewarded, and it certainly was a superb strike from the midfielder. Kale, the goal scorer for Supersport. Now Fransman.
Both teams are resorting to that early ball, that aerial ball, hoping to catch each other off guard, and maybe in the second half we'd like to see them keep the ball a bit more and create more chances from midfield. Well, I think you can clearly see from the statistics that that is the case, Mark, and maybe when they give you the statistics just now, you could mention
pass completion. And the reason for that, Farouk? Too many long balls.
Too many long balls. I think when both teams started off, it was quite interesting to see them passing the ball better. But after the equalizer from Swallows, it seems like they're opting to go route one.
Who's going to come on here? Paul Maleka. Got the Zimbabwean in there, Mapemba. Now Nagadze. Lekotwani pushing forward. Needs a bit of help. It comes from Chibangu. Nice touch into Chinene. He's onside as well. Looking for Mashego. The header from Fransman. Now Tutsulupa, not for the first time tonight, puts a lot of pressure on his defence for his failure to clear with a head. He's perhaps complaining about the lights or the ball's a little too high for him, but it's not the first time we've seen it. Our stats gurus, Farouk, say that Swallows tonight have missed 40 passes in comparison to just 18 for Supersport.
Well, that will be a concern for Zaka if you have that percentage of missed passes and it's only in the first half, then it's cause for concern, and it's simply because of the likes of Tutsulupa not making the team play. We can understand Nergatzi's role. He's more a defensive midfielder, but Tutsulupa is the player they're looking to keep that ball and to make play for them from midfield, and he seems to be struggling in doing so.
This will be a Swallows throw-in to be taken by Rudy Isaacs up against his former side tonight. He did start his career at Swallows, and they signed him from Amatux.
Supersport are not taking advantage of the problems which Swallows have facing them. Firstly, a slow defense, and in midfield they're losing, as we've seen with the stats, losing possession by poor passing. So they need to exploit that.
You can hear more expert analysis, of course, at half-time. We've got a studio panel. We've got Mark Williams here as well, so plenty of thoughts and opinions ahead of you in the half-time break. In the meantime, perhaps the opportunity of a goal before Mfiki, the referee tonight, blows the conclusion of this first stanza. Fransman, that might be a bit shallow for Fernandez. Bada, I think, didn't like Fernandez bearing down on him like that. Might have just taken his foot off the accelerator.
Obada showing his pace here, and Fransman not putting enough on that ball. That is quite dangerous. Fortunately, Fernandes got there in time and cleared the ball.
Isaacs gives it away to Kale. This is Jima now. Using his strength, finds Zuma. Doughty out wide on this right-hand side. Waiting for Peterson on the overlap. Back again, they've lost a bit of the momentum. Swallows getting players behind the ball, but still the passes are finding the man. Kanyeza in the tight angle, he'll get the corner. And remember how dangerous Supersport are traditionally from set pieces.
I believe it in the seasons that we've seen them win the league, that was a key factor for them. Here we see the ball being played through, and this is where Duty is so dangerous, getting that ball in behind the defenders. Kenyeza forcing, instead of trying to play the way he's facing, tries to turn and the ball is played out for a corner.
This is our 9th corner tonight. We've had as many fouls as well in this game. It's a good sign. Haskins playing it back. This is a long-range effort. Ambitious from Jima. Big, strong Ghanaian. Not a man you'd like to come across in that midfield, I don't fancy. Built strongly and powerful.
Well, if you can recall when they won the Nedbank Cup, Mark, he did a haka, and it was quite a frightening sight.
Here's Obada. Chabangu has it nicked away by Kale, but well, it's a little bit lucky there. I thought there was a Swallows ball, but Kale will settle for it. We're now heading towards stoppage time. Victor Gomez is tonight's 4th official. He'll tell us in a second or two how many minutes. 2 minutes to be added on here. Now Nagadze away from Fransman. Doughty under pressure from Lekotwane, pushing up high. So Farouk, quick thought from you on the first half of this game?
Well, the first half, I think if you look at the way Swallows got back into the game after equalizing, has really leveled out things, although I would say Swallows had more possession, but on the other hand, Supersport had more opportunities. So if you look at the balance of probabilities, you'll say it's been quite an even first half, and hopefully in the second half, we'll see some more goals, because as many predicted, this could be a high-scoring final.
Again, defensive frailties from Morocco Swallows, who's clearing tonight. It's been on the poor side. Both Lekotwane and Mungumeri just not getting their foot wrapped around the ball. Now Kale, brave header there from Nagadze. Here comes Chabangu. Is there time for one more before half-time? Too long for Chinene.
Well, sometimes that forward pass is played too early, but on the issue of defensively, I think both teams, you have players sometimes not using the chocolate foot, like we saw Diouf there, opting to go with the right foot and playing the ball back into play.
Offside, surely, against Chinene. There was some panicking, appealing there from the Swallows defenders, but the linesman had his flag up quick enough. Now, just a matter of seconds, surely the last ball into the danger zone. And Samik Doughty unable to control that. We've had the 2 minutes now of time added on.
Well, I think the refs are playing his optional time, but it's been more like a chess game, you know, and hopefully it will open up in the second half, Mark.
Header from Fransman. Well, there's been plenty of incident already in the first half of this MTN8, but level pegging these two sides after a very competitive opening 45 minutes of this game. And this cup final is still a long way from being decided. Plenty of excitement for the spectators on hand there tonight, for you at home as well. Goal from Franklin Kale early on set the cat amongst the pigeons, but what a great equalizer from Nagadze gave Rowan Fernandez absolutely no chance from the edge of the box with a real thunderbolt. So we can confirm 1 goal apiece in the opening half of tonight's MTN 8 final. Swallows 1, Supersport 1.